So this whole time, everyone's been debating about who should be the main event, whether it should be Drew or Bobby or Bianca and Sasha. Wouldn't it be funny if WWE swerved us all and made the main event Shane versus Braun? He was not feeling that idea, but it's all good though, because it's not his video, it's my video, and I'm your boy Big Hero Chris, back at you with your WrestleMania predictions video. WrestleMania this year is 2 nights like last year, and the build for WrestleMania has been hot garbage, but I'm getting ahead of myself. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. Leave me a thumbs up, ring the notification bell, let you know when I'm posting more content. I got the NXT review coming up, I got the WrestleMania review coming up, and other great content from your boy. But as I was saying, WrestleMania this year has been, well, not even the show because I haven't seen the show yet, obviously, but the build for it has been kind of blah. But the card for both nights looks pretty decent. Like, it looks like it's gonna be a decent show, a decent to good, maybe even alright show. You know, you can say it's 2 nights. It's technically 2.5 because you got the SmackDown WrestleMania, which is gonna feature the Andre the Giant Battle Royal and a Fatal 4-Way for the Tag Team Championships. And I'm guessing this is kind of taking place of the pre-show, because this year WrestleMania, like for the first time in a whole year, WWE is gonna have well, not for the first time, because NXT had a little bit of a crowd and they're in intense for their takeover show, but this will be the first time in a year that that WWE itself will have crowds and attendance. So I'm guessing that they're doing the SmackDown show as a pre-show instead of having the pre-show the night of WrestleMania, so the crowd will actually have I don't know, but it's for the crowd, it's for the people, and it's gonna be cool. Also, if you are gonna be at WrestleMania, be careful, be safe, have fun, all that, but you don't want to see me flat my guns. You don't want to see me just run my mouth and just ramble. You want to see who I think is going to win these matches. You want to see what I think is going to happen at this show. So we're going to start off at the SmackDown pre-show, Super SmackDown WrestleMania thing. And like I said, it's going to be the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Jey Uso win, because he's been putting in work these past few months with Roman Reigns. Main event Jey Uso, even though he hasn't won a match in months, but he has still been putting in the work. He's been proving that he is more than just the other twin. He's been proving that he's more than just a tag team wrestler. So I'm going to give the nod to big main event Jey Uso, and hopefully he'll win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I'll probably be totally wrong. It's going to go to Burger King Corbin again, but I'm hoping for Jey Uso. Next on the pre-show, we have the Fatal 4-Way featuring the Street Profits, the Alpha Academy, Mysterio and Son, and the Dirty Dogs. And I think this is going to be the first time that Rude and Ziggler have defended their tag team titles. I might be mistaken. I don't think they've defended them since they won the titles. I mean, that's kind of weird, but then again, there isn't really a tag team division, so yeah. But I'm hoping that Ray and Dominic win. It'll be a cool moment, father and son winning the tag team titles, Mysterio and Son, new tag team champions. Those are my picks. Alright, so now we go on to WrestleMania, and I'm just going to review the whole thing. Both nights. I'm just going to do it all in one video. I was going to break it up into 2 different videos. I'm just going to do one video. And we're going to start it off with Seth Rollins and Cesaro. No real build for this match besides the fact that Seth Rollins wanted to bring Cesaro into the fold, wanted to kind of take him under his wing, be his leader or whatever, and Cesaro wasn't feeling that, and he ended up swinging Seth Rollins 22 times, and Seth Rollins is embarrassed. Was embarrassed by that. That's it. That's the build. That's why they're having a match at WrestleMania. The match itself is going to be dope. It's going to be probably one of the best matches on the card because of the two guys involved. If I had to pick between Seth and Cesaro, he's picking Seth, which I don't blame him because the drip is immortal and immaculate and all that. Me, myself, I'm going to roll with Cesaro because this is his first singles WrestleMania match. He's been in Andre the Giant Battle Royals. I think he's been in tag team matches, but I think this is going to be his first singles match. And I'm going to roll with Cesaro. I'm going to pick Cesaro for this one. Next, we have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens with Logan Paul in the corner of Sami Zayn. I'm going to rock with Kevin Owens, and I think Logan Paul is going to screw over Sami Zayn. That would make a lot of sense because you can have Sami Zayn kind of just talking trash to Logan Paul. Like at first he's all buddy, but as the match is going on, he's kind of like talking trash, and Logan Paul will just have enough and kind of knock him out or deck him or something, and then it's going to cause Sami Zayn to win, and that'll go further into Sami Zayn's delusions of this conspiracy against him, and that could be another piece of material for his documentary. So I'm going to rock with Kevin Owens on this one. Next, we have a tag team turmoil match for the women's tag team championship. Well, this is going to see who faces the women's tag teams, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler on night 2. I don't even really know who all was involved. I didn't think to check. I kind of don't care. If I had to pick anybody, I would probably pick, I don't know, probably... it's probably going to be something like Carmella and Billie Kay. That's probably who's going to win. Are they going to win? Probably not, but I'm just going to pick them because I really don't care for this match. Because WWE hasn't given me a reason to care for this match. So I'm just going to pick Billie Kay and Carmella because reasons. Then they will go on to face Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler on night 2, and they will lose. And that will be that. And we will all live happily ever after complaining on the internet. The end. I'm just playing. Next, we have the tag team match between Miz and Morrison and Damian Priest and Bad Bunny, and it is gonna be Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. I mean, there's no way I can see WWE having Bad Bunny be around for this whole time just to have him lose against the Miz and John Morrison at WrestleMania. I mean, I don't see that happening. I can see Damian Priest doing a good big chunk of the work, hitting his finishing move, or maybe Bad Bunny has a finishing move, or he'll hit some kind of spectacular move. I don't know, but it's gonna be Damian Priest and Bad Bunny for the win. Yeah. And it's crazy that about a month ago, The Miz was WWE champion. But, oh well. Next we have Apollo Crews and Big E for the Intercontinental Championship in a Nigerian drum battle or drum match. I don't know what this means. I don't know exactly what a Nigerian drum fight or whatever this match is called. When I first heard about it, I envisioned Big E and Apollo kind of just standing in the middle of the ring, drumline style, and then Nick Cannon pops out of nowhere because of reasons, and they just start playing the drums, and it's just like a drum battle. But apparently that's not what it is. It's just another term for a street fight, I guess. I don't know. I'm assuming that's what it is. They had a street fight last week on SmackDown, so they just kind of had to dress it up and say it's a Nigerian drum battle instead of just saying it's a street fight. Okay, but my pick for this alleged drum battle, street fight, whatever, is going to be Apollo Crews, because it wouldn't make too much sense if you have Apollo Crews turn heel, embrace this new side of his character, actually have a character, build him up all this way to face Big E for the Intercontinental Championship and lose again. because let's not forget that this whole match was built upon the fact that Apollo Crews kept losing to Big E for the Intercontinental Championship. So why would you have him go all the way to WrestleMania and just have him lose again? That doesn't make sense. So my pick is going to be Apollo Crews. Apollo! That's my pick. Next we have Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley. Now, I'm kind of torn about this one because it's cool to see Bobby Lashley as WWE champion. It's cool to see Bobby Lashley walk into WrestleMania as WWE WWE champion for the first time in his career. That's pretty cool. That's pretty impressive feat by itself. And it would kind of suck to have Bobby Lashley go in as WWE champion and then lose to the Drew McIntyre. Now, it's to my understanding that the plan kind of sort of is to have Drew McIntyre go over so he can finally have his moment in front of a live crowd, which in theory sounds cool, but I don't feel like that's a good idea. I feel like last year was a good moment for Drew, even though it didn't happen in front of a crowd, because after he beat Brock for the title, there was a point during after he won where he looked into the camera and reached out his hand, kind of saying that I know the fans aren't here, but I kind of feel you. I kind of feel the energy of the fans, and I feel like that was way more impactful than having him win in front of a crowd. It would have been ideal to have him win in front of a crowd, but I feel like that moment by itself, that kind of captures what kind of person Drew McIntyre is, what kind of champion that he was, and he really carried he kind of helped carry the WWE last year through this whole pandemic era, and just being champion in front of no crowds, that was pretty cool by itself. So I feel like if they have Drew McIntyre win again this year, it's not going to have the impact that they think it's going to have. Yeah, maybe he'll get a pop for the night, but the long-term effects, it's not going to work out how I feel WWE thinks it's going to work out. So with that being said, I'm picking Drew. Not because I want to, because that's the way I feel WWE is going to go. And I don't think it's going to work out the way they want it to. But I could be wrong. Who knows? It could just work out and nobody will complain about it. Everyone will be happy like, oh, Drew, you won. You're a 3-time WWE champion in a year. Yay, hooray. Yay, okay. Alright, so next we have Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. And I've been saying this since my very first video, since my very first Royal Rumble predictions video. I said that Bianca Belair is going to win the Royal Rumble, and she did. Now I'm saying that Bianca Belair is going to be the SmackDown Women's Champion. And this is another match. The match itself is going to be good. I have no doubt about that. It's just how we got there. Like, you had all the potential in the world for this match to be awesome. Like, for the build to be awesome. Like, you had the pieces there. You had the components there. You had something that could have been spectacular. The build could have been spectacular. But instead, we got raisins and the macaroni and cheese. And what I mean by this is, macaroni and cheese by itself is good because you have the ingredients. You have macaroni, you have cheese, and you have the other stuff that goes in it. But the basic components are macaroni and cheese. You don't really need too much to go into macaroni and cheese, right? When you start doing extra stuff like adding raisins and other stuff that doesn't need to be in there, it makes it less appealing. Like, if I see raisins in my macaroni and cheese, I'm smacking somebody straight up. Why would you put raisins in my macaroni and cheese? What purpose does it serve? Okay, and that's what you have with the build between Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. You have the women's tag team titles involved. You have Reginald involved. You have Carmella involved. You have all these things that you didn't need, and it just lessened the build. So now you have people who aren't as invested as you would think they would be in a match that could have been really awesome. But the match itself will be awesome, and I think that Bianca Belair is going to go over, and she's going to be your new women's champion for the SmackDown side. And now, as for the Raw side, I think we'll also have another new champion, and Rhea Ripley. I don't really have too much to say about this because the build really hasn't been there as well. Like, you have Rhea Ripley show up and say, hey, I want to fight at WrestleMania. So it's like, okay, that's cool. And that's it. And that's really a build. And then you have Rhea Ripley kind of turn, or she did turn heel this past week on Raw. And it's like, okay, cool. So now you know who to boo. Now you know who to cheer for. If you, Rhea Ripley's going to win. That's that. Let's see. What else? I feel like I'm missing something. Something's missing. So you have the triple threat match between Roman Reigns, Edge, and Daniel Bryan. And people are still upset about this. I made a video about this. Why it makes sense to me. One thing I will say that's come out of this are the memes. Like, if you've been paying attention to wrestling Twitter or just the internet in general, when it comes to like the wrestling side of things, when it comes to Daniel Bryan being inserted, the memes have been hilarious. The jokes have been hilarious. However, as far as Daniel Bryan's involvement, like I said in my why it makes sense for Daniel Bryan to be in the triple threat match, I said that he's just going to add something more to it. You already had the one-on-one match that would have been good by itself. Now you have Daniel Bryan adding himself to being added to the mix, and it just adds a little bit more. However, I do not see Daniel Bryan winning the Universal Championship. I see it going to Edge. I think after all this, Edge is still going to come out as the new Universal Champion, and he's probably going to pin Daniel Bryan. And that's another thing. That's kind of why Daniel Bryan's involved, because you can't have Edge lose after having him being built up this whole time. This big comeback, him winning the Royal Rumble, him picking Roman Reigns just to have him lose. And you also can't have Roman Reigns lose because he's really been carrying SmackDown for these past few months. So Edge is gonna win, and it's gonna be by pinning Daniel Bryan. He's gonna be the new Universal Champion. I knew what I forgot, and I guess there's a reason why I forgot this. It's the match I really do not care for, and that is Shane versus Braun inside of a steel cage match. Oh my god, I don't care about this match. That's why I forgot about it. But just to pick for it's gonna be inside of a steel cage, and somehow, some way, I think Shane's gonna win. I think that Braun's just going to beat him up the entire match. And I feel like something's telling me that Daba Kato from Raw Underground is going to make his return and just help Shane win. I think that's what's going to happen. Shane's going to win, and I will continue not to care. Yeah, because I hate that. You have slime and report cards and people being called stupid, and then you have Braun talking about he's going to do this for all the people that's been bullied, but dude's like the size of a train. The one he's running around making train noises because he's the actual size of a train. So ain't nobody bullying you, bro. Come on now. But I'm getting off topic. We also have Riddle versus Sheamus for the United States Championship. I'm gonna rock with Riddle. This is another match I really don't care for. It's gonna be good, but I don't care. Riddle and Sheamus is Sheamus, so I don't care. I'm gonna rock with Riddle. You also have the tag team, Raw tag team champions being defended against AJ Styles and Omos against the New Day, and Omos and AJ are gonna win. I'm kind of excited to see what Omos is gonna do, because he's kind of been just this big tall dude that's been standing around being all threatening, and you haven't really seen him do much. You've seen him do things here and there, but it's gonna be real interesting to see exactly how he moves in the ring. If he's just gonna be this big power guy, if he's gonna be like a Ray Kaale, or if he's just gonna bust out suicide dives and super kicks and 450s. It's gonna be interesting to see exactly what he does. But I'm rocking with AJ Styles and Omos. Finally, we have probably, besides the triple threat between Edge, Roman, and Daniel Bryan, this is the other match that has the most story behind it, because it's been going on for a long time, but as of right now, I don't think they've have announced a stipulation for this match, and that's the Fiend versus Randy Orton, which makes no sense to me because you have Randy Orton burn the Fiend alive in an Inferno match and send him to hell, kind of, sort of, and then he's brought back through black magic and superpowers, and now he looks like a crispy grilled chicken sandwich from Popeyes or whatever, and it's gonna be a regular wrestling match. That doesn't make sense. Like, you have a man light another man on fire and burn him alive, and then the big encounter at WrestleMania is gonna be start off with a collar and elbow tie up. That doesn't make sense. I'm hoping for shenanigans. I'm hoping for this craziness, but and the Fiend's gonna win. It wouldn't make sense to have a man just be burned alive and then brought back to lose. So you got to give it to the Fiend. I'm still kind of weirded out by the fact that they don't have a stipulation for this match, but it's just gonna be a regular singles match, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like I think I've covered everything. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up. Those are my predictions for this year's WrestleMania. Both nights, night 1 and 2, and then you have the SmackDown Super WrestleMania Showdown, whatever. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts on WrestleMania? What are your thoughts on the build? What do you think your favorite match is going to be? Do you think that the Fiend and Randy Orton are going to have a stipulation for their match, or is it going to be a regular singles match? Let me know in the comment section. Go on and talk to me. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Also, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun jazz, man. Yeah. Other than that, I got nothing else. I'm out. You guys be easy. Again, if you're attending WrestleMania live, if you're going to be in attendance at the show, be careful. Social distance, wear a mask, all that stuff, or whatever. Just be careful. Other than that, I'm out. Be easy. Peace.